All right, it's recording now. Okay, so really quick, does it show my Zoom chat little box on yours? Okay, good. Okay, but I'm actually kind of worried that it'll show up in my presentation, so I'll put it at the bottom. Okay, so that way everybody can still see. So really quick, before we get completely started, I just wanted to go over the few announcements. This is how I think I'm going to start doing our calls every week so that everybody can, because I'm a visual person, and so I like to be able to take notes and to visually see what's happening because it helps keep me more focused. So, anyways, so, the announcements real quick. So Fall Classic signups opened on the 19th. So that was Monday, I believe. So if you guys do not have a team put together yet, make sure that you guys get on one or get a team together. Otherwise, all of the good teammates are going to be gone because everybody else has already gobbled them up, I guess, is what you could say. So just make sure that you're you have your team together. I'm going to have mine for any of you coaches. I know that Brianna mentioned that she wanted to be on a team. So right now it's me and Brianna, so I have a spot for one more person. But I know that I kind of threw Alyssa into being head of the other team for our team. So if anybody else wants to be on Alyssa's team, feel free to just post in our team page. I made a sign-up sheet for everybody to fill in. So anyways, that's just the Fall Classic sign-up announcement as a reminder. The team retreat is on the 13th and 14th of November. And if you guys haven't sent me your shirt size of what shirt size you guys want, can you please get that to me within the next 24 hours so that I can get a shirt? So another thing with the shirts too is I would love for everybody, sorry, there's a fly that keeps flying around my face, but I would love to have everybody on the team there. So if you can make it, please come, because I feel that this is going to be something that is going to help everybody on our team. And I spoke to Jen Greenberg, or not Jen Greenberg, Jen Burgess, and she is going to check to see if she's available on either one of those dates. I just figured I wanted to find a woman coach. I don't know how you would say that, but because I feel that they can better relate with us as moms. So I've asked her, and if she can't do it, then I will find somebody else. But so far, that's it.
Stop it! You're taking your clothes off.
Come and talk on that day. So just so everybody has a heads up for that. We will also be taking team pictures. Alyssa has offered to do that for our team. So I don't know what you guys want to wear for your pictures or what, but just kind of let me know. So that's the team retreat announcement. And I also need to know who is coming as well, so I know how much food I need to bring and prepare and haul up to the cabin beforehand. And I think we're just going to meet at my house before, and then we're going to try to pile everybody in my mother-in-law's Acadia, because it can seat 8 people, I believe. And we can throw all of our junk in the back seat and haul it up there. So just let me know who's coming so I can make sure that we have enough space for everybody and enough places for everybody to sleep as well.
Stop it.
The next announcement is one-on-ones. If you guys want me to help you personally, like get further ahead, then let me know. And you need to contact me directly because I am just going to assume that that you guys don't want my help, I guess. So I'm going to go at the pace that you are. So if you guys are wanting to have those one-on-ones with me, contact me so we can schedule them. Because I'm going to start implementing, and I'm going to be strict on the days that I talk to my coaches, just so I can spend more time with my family, and I'll get more into that as the call progresses. Also, really quick, there is a new checklist that I thought I had it finished, but then it didn't save. And the storm that we had come through my house, when I had it on my computer, it didn't save it, so I have to redo it. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I had a new, simpler, quicker checklist than the one that Kendra has. But if you guys do like the old one better, then you guys can still stick to it. It's just another option for everybody else. So, officially, I want to welcome all of you guys, and I'm super excited for this call because I feel like this is something that needs to be talked about. And I know that I struggled with this at first, as well as I know that a lot of my own coaches are struggling with the same thing as we speak. And it's kind of funny because I had an idea to talk about this when I actually assigned Alyssa to do the call today, but talking to her, things came up and things will just work out better if she does the call in a couple weeks. So I decided that this is what I would fill our call with. So I'm going to talk about how to gain your spouse's support when you first sign up as a coach. If you want, you guys can take notes. This is stuff that has personally helped me, myself, and my husband, but you can feel free to try whatever you guys want that will help you guys. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is gaining your spouse's support is going to take time, but the very first thing that you guys need to learn is to believe in yourself. Believe first that you can do it, and the more positive you are to yourself, the more it'll rub off on your spouse, and it will show them how excited you are, which will in turn help them become more excited about what you're doing. Go slow there. So that's the first thing. So I want you guys to think back, and for some of you guys it wasn't that long ago, but I want you guys to think about when you very first started, okay? And the reason why you guys started. So I know for me, it was I wanted to lose I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not 100% honest with everybody else, but I actually gained over 60 pounds with my first daughter when I was pregnant with her. And when after I had her, I only lost 7 pounds after giving birth to my first oldest, which again happened to me after I had my second, but I didn't gain that much because I was being healthier this time around. But so I started personally because I wanted to lose the weight. But little did I know the confidence that it would bring in myself, and it made me a better mom and wife too in the process. And then later on, I obviously learned about how much you can actually make by doing this business. And so that also helped later on in life. But up front, that was literally the reason why I started at first. So the thing is, no matter what anybody says to you, you're going to hear people saying, oh, it's just a pyramid scheme. Like, there's no way you're going to make any money out of it. I'm trying to think of some other things that people used to say to me. Oh, you aren't going to do good at that because you're a shy person. There's no way I could do that because I'm a shy person and I don't like to talk to people. Those are all things that I have heard from people, and those are all things that I used to tell myself. And the minute that I decided to nip those excuses in the butt and figure out how I was going to personally make this happen for myself was the minute that my business started exploding. The bottom line is you need to believe in yourself first, and the rest will come with time. I'll be honest, it took me over, I think it was, let me see. So I started coaching the end of February 2013, and on my Emerald certificate that I got, so this is how long it took me to hit Emerald, okay? So brace yourself. But on my certificate that is sitting right behind me, it says that I became Emerald October 2nd of 2014. So that was over a year. Or actually, no, it wasn't over a year because I became a coach in February of 2014. So I don't even know how many months that is, but it took me forever to hit Emerald rank. And it felt like that to me, but part of it was because I felt like I was cheating if I signed my spouse up underneath me. But now I'm literally kicking myself in the butt for not doing that, because I've seen how much quicker my business has grown and the benefits that I've received from just signing my spouse up front. So and jumping into the business, I'll be honest, I didn't know anything about ranks. I didn't know about team bonuses. I didn't know how much I could make. All I knew is that if these products could help me become better as
Bridget, can you hear me? I can't hear anybody.
I didn't care.
I can hear you.
You guys can hear me?
Okay, can anybody hear Bridget?
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you now.
I can hear you.
Okay. If you guys can't, then just let me know. Okay, so then the next thing is, for me, so the more that I dug into this business and the more that I decided that I wanted more out of this business than just losing the weight, I noticed, but it wasn't until after my husband had voiced his opinion that I wasn't showing him that I cared about him. So what I mean by that is, so your spouse, I want you guys to put yourself in your spouse's position right now if you are having the same issues as me. So, for instance, my husband does not work out. He just started drinking the Shakeology. And so before, when we were having all of these rough patches in our marriage, it was because I was changing, my body was changing, and I was bettering myself, but my husband wasn't willing to change himself and grow with me. So it's scary to them. It's scary to see their spouse change to be better because they want to be better and they want to look better when they're still in the same spot. So one thing that we've been trying to do together is we've just been trying to spend at least one night a week with each other. Whether it be just sitting on the couch watching a movie together, or if we legitimately go on a date with each other, it doesn't matter. Just as long as you're taking that extra time just for them to make them feel like they matter to you. That has helped us greatly, because we all know that this business is a balancing act. You have so much that you have to give and put in up front to start reaping the reward, so to speak, or before you start seeing your business grow. Okay, so I'm going to be honest. This is not something that I want to share, but I feel like it's important. So some other things that I feel like showing them that you care about them, it's about even being intimate, because I'll be honest, after having especially Paisley, I don't feel the prettiest, and I deal with my 2 kids all day every day, and by the time my husband gets home, you're right, like I do not feel like getting intimate with my husband. Like I do not, like I just want him to take care of the girls, and I want to literally just sit there and do nothing when he gets home. But you talking to my husband, this is one of the ways that my husband personally feels closer to me, is when we're intimate together. So one thing that I have been challenging myself to do this past month is either when he initiates it and I don't want to necessarily do it, I've challenged myself personally to do it no matter what, even if I don't want to do it. And it has surprised me how much it's actually helped our relationship and how much more supportive my husband is of me just by doing this. And I know that it's not something that anybody wants to throw around in the air, but if it didn't matter that much to me this past month, I wouldn't be sharing this with you guys, because nobody wants to share their personal life with people like that. But I know even at Summit, Shalene Johnson mentioned, I heard from my upline coach that she actually mentioned being more intimate with your spouse, and that we needed to do that. So that's why I started doing it in the first place. So this is something that was really hard for me to do or to start doing, but I don't even remember where I heard of it. But somebody mentioned that I need to constantly be asking my husband for allowing me to start coaching in the first place. Even though it may not have been their idea and they may not be 100% supportive, just by you letting them know how much that this business means to you and expressing your thanks to them for letting you do it, you would be surprised the amount of difference that it would make and opening your eyes of how much it really is helping you and making you feel better. The last thing that I wanted to share is don't be afraid to show them additional love. So some days, like, we have like mounds of things. Like, I know that some of you guys are going to school, some of you guys are running dance classes, a lot of us are dealing with depression and other family issues. Don't be afraid to put those things that seem important at the time. Don't be afraid to put those off for that 15 minutes or that 10 minutes to show your husband that you love them, because before you found this business, and even if you were to lose this business, which is not likely unless
You're gone.
I'm gone again. Okay.
I think we lost her again.
Can you guys hear me again?
Yeah.
Now we can hear.
Okay. Thanks. So just don't be afraid to show them additional love, whether that's buying gifts to show how much you love your spouse. One of the things that's helped me is I actually bought the book, The 5 Love Languages. I don't know if you guys have heard of that book, but it goes through and it talks about how people love or feel loved in different ways. So there's like a physical side. People feel loved when you're more physical person. Or if you buy gifts, they like that more and they feel more appreciative when you buy gifts. So there's different ways that everybody is going to feel loved. So if you haven't read that book or looked at it, because I know that you can take a quiz to feel even, or to know even what your love language is. Mine is a mixture of 2. Mine is a mixture of verbally telling me and also buying gifts. So that is like a mixture of the 2 love languages that I am. And I know that my husband's is touch, because I read through all of them. So if you haven't learned of what your spouse's is, I highly encourage you guys to look into that book. Okay, the next thing kind of goes along with the first one is I want you to show them that you can do this.
I love it.
They have doubts just like you do when you first start.
Yeah.
you have to show them that you can do this, because they aren't going to have the belief in you, especially if one of their love languages is, I can't remember which one it is, but basically it's like visually seeing what's happening. And for my husband, I know that was one of the things that he, I guess, threw in as an ultimatum. He told me that if I did not make my Shakeology back in the first 2 months as a coach, then he wasn't going to let me continue doing it. So by me showing him that I could get my Shakeology that first 2 months, he told me last night that he was actually really impressed that I actually was able to do that, because he didn't think I was going to. And to be honest, I didn't really have the faith in myself until I posted my before and after pictures. And that is when I got my 3 customers to cover my Shakeology. Okay, we all want instant results, right? So our husbands are going to want to see instantly how this business is benefiting them and benefiting us, right? So immediately when you get that program, like, work your tush off so that you can show them that the programs work and that it's working for you. My husband told me last night that one of the first things that he saw in me changing was that first month, but he immediately saw, obviously he saw me drop the weight, but he saw the confidence in myself that was boosting, and he saw that I was much more happier than I was in the past. And he even went as far as to saying it was the happiest that he had seen me since before we got married, which kind of made me feel really bad as a wife, because I love my husband and I never want him to feel like I don't love him. And so that was really hard for me to hear, but it was also really good, I think. But you need to make sure that you're showing your husband that it's working. So one of the ways that you guys can do that is, I didn't even learn this until a year after I coached, but Beachbody has automatic deposit. So what I did is I actually linked my bank accounts. So like our or his finances or my Beachbody earnings, I hooked them up to his bank account, so that when he got on to check our finances, he saw, or he still continues to see, how much money I'm making to help with our bills every month. That's one thing that has helped open my husband's eyes to realize how much I have been making. Because, yeah, I would get the checks in the mail, and some of them would be bigger than others, but I would just go and use them for grocery shopping, but I would never, I guess, he would never see it. So he didn't know how it was really helping our family and our finances. So, okay, so the last thing of this is part of showing him that you can do it. One thing that my husband said to me last night is he wishes that when he was home, and he's like, and maybe this is selfish of me, and he even said this himself, but he's like, maybe this is selfish of me, but he's like, one thing that I don't necessarily like about you being a coach is I feel like it's been taking away from family. And that kind of hit me really hard for a second, because the whole reason why I continued being a coach in the first place was so that I could have more time with my family. And looking back at it, since I have had Lakin, I can see what he means by that, because as soon as we get the kids to bed, it's all I can do to get on the computer and finish my invites and finish what I need to get done for the day in my business, when in reality I've been neglecting my family, and we have to make sure that we're not neglecting our family with this. And so one of the things that I decided last night after my husband told me this is I am going to start waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning every single day. And just by waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning every day, I did the math, and that's an extra 3 hours a day that I get before my kids even think about waking up in the morning. So that's an extra 15 hours a week that I can work on Beachbody, and that's taking care of my family. And I can still take care of my family, but I'm not taking that time away from my family. So sometimes we're going to have to sacrifice our sleep. So my husband did tell me that he doesn't mind me working on Beachbody if he's sleeping. So there has been a couple of times this past week that he has fallen asleep, and that's when I come upstairs and I work on my business. So those are some of my 2 cents. So the next thing is before you can even be successful in this company, you obviously need to believe in the products, right? So this is a picture of me and the very first time that I started and finished a Beachbody program ever, and it was the 21-day fix. In that first 21 days as a coach, I lost 9 pounds and 13.5 inches. And those were my personal results for that. So it's crazy to think back to that and seeing my first transformation. And I actually showed my husband this picture, and he's like, that's so crazy. And he's like, look how far you've come. And it really did make me proud. And looking back at it, like, that's what made me a believer of their products, is by doing that first 21 days and seeing that what Beachbody offers, what we offer to other moms and to other people like us, is we offer a way of life. It's not a get rich quick scheme. I mean, yes, it takes time, but in the long run, these are real results, and we are achieving them ourselves. So be proud of that, and be proud of the products that we have to offer, and be proud that Beachbody is constantly growing and changing to accommodate the newness of what the world is bringing into our lives. For instance, they just talked about, if you went to Super Saturday, they talked about a new app that they're releasing. It's going to be a challenge group app. And we're going to be able to run our challenge groups on an app on our phones. And just by them releasing this, it gives us more of a reach to other people. So people from Instagram who haven't wanted to create a Facebook account to be in our challenge groups, they can have that now, as long as we have an email address for them and they check in once a day. Like, this is for them, and I am grateful that Beachbody does that for us. Okay, so I am a religious person, and I'm sorry that if you guys are not religious, but I want you guys to know that for me, when I first started, I'll be honest, it was like a mental struggle in my mind. And I remember signing up as a coach, and I actually remember praying about it and asking Heavenly Father if this was the right direction that I needed to go with my life. And I remember a definite yes is what I got from praying. And so as I've been struggling the past 3 to 5 months on Paisley, go get me a bottle of water, and I'll put water, and I'll put some juice in it, okay? Give me water. Give me some water. So I found that at times I felt like, I guess, he was trying to be mean and tell me that maybe this wasn't what I was supposed to be doing, and that this wasn't the direction that my family needed to go, after I felt like that was the confirmation that I got from him. But little did I know that he was just making me a stronger person. So after having Lakin is basically when craps hit the fan for me and my family again. I talked to you guys about it last week, about things that have been going on, and seriously, like, it was like right after Lakin was born, I felt like crap was hitting the fan, and I felt like God was punishing me for things that I hadn't dealt with in the past. But what I didn't realize is that he is paving a better path for me, and he is paving a way for me to reach more people because of what happened, now that it's coming up again. So it's helping me grow. So I want you guys to remember that you guys signed up as a coach for a reason. And God instilled that thought in your guys' hearts and in your minds. And he gave you that belief in yourself for a reason, because he knew that all of you guys can do this. He knew that you guys needed this business in your life at the time that it came into your life. And I have learned that he would not put a desire in any of our hearts if this business was not meant for us. And I truly believe that. And I hope that each one of you guys would believe in the same thing too, because he would not do that. He's not cruel like that. He wouldn't instill that feeling in our hearts and in our minds if it wasn't something that was going to benefit us in some way or another. So when those hard times come and our spouses aren't being supportive, or if our friends or our families aren't being supportive, you just remember that God is not cruel, and you need to push through. Keep pushing through and keep doing what you know to be right, and things will happen. Remarkable things will happen with this business. The thing that I have learned this past few months is that I cannot do this alone. Like, yes, I have my spouse, but he hasn't always been supportive of me, and I've noticed that the more I rely on God and I pray to him and ask him for guidance and ask him to help me find the people whose lives need to be touched, that is where I have seen the magic happen. And that is honestly how I feel like I have found all of you guys as my coaches. Also, those times that we feel like he, I guess, has left us, or that he doesn't care about us, we need to remember to have the attitude of gratitude. And what I mean by that is we need to remember of all the good things that he has done for us and all the blessings that have come from this. So it doesn't matter if he helped you with a $15 paycheck to help with getting gas to go across town. Like, don't overestimate those small things that have been helped. Oops. Wow, okay. Okay, so I want you guys real quick. So this is a picture of me, and you guys probably saw that I actually just posted this picture today on my Facebook page. But I want you guys to remember right now, and I want you to write down, take the time to write down why you got started in the first place. And you can type it, you can make a video on it, but I want you guys to post before the end of today. I want you guys to post of why you guys started in the first place, because there is power in the story of why you guys got started. And the more that you affirm to your spouse the reasons why you did start, the more they'll encourage and help uplift you. Okay, another thing that you guys need to think about is you guys need to give yourself and your spouse time. They aren't going to come around overnight. Just like you didn't decide overnight, with the exception of some people, you didn't decide overnight that you wanted to lose weight and that you wanted to become a coach. Like, it takes time and it takes patience. So be patient and they'll come around, and trust in the process of coaching. Before that goes back. I want you guys to remember that you all can do this. You all can do this, and I know you can because I've been able to do this. And I feel like if I can do this, anybody can do this. You just have to believe that you can, and you can do it. Okay? So the last thing that I want to bring to your guys' attention is remember not to forget about your family, because more than likely, if you're like me, they are the reason of why you started in the first place, or they're part of the reason why you started. So if you have to wake up early, get up early. if you need to stay up late after everybody's asleep, then stay up late and get it done while they're sleeping. If you need to get that business done when your kids are napping while they're sleeping, so when they wake up, you can spend that time with them. Make sure that you are not forgetting about your family. So real quick, I wanted to show you guys something that I am taking on with my, so you guys saw me post about the 365 Days to Love. You guys saw me post about that book, but what I didn't post, because it's actually a secret to my spouse, is I am actually, can you guys see this? This book right here. I don't know why it's not showing. Here, hold on. There we go. Okay. So, here. Oh, wait. Here we go. All right. Here's the book right here. So I am actually starting this book, and it is called The Love Dare. And if you guys have seen or haven't seen the movie Fireproof, I highly encourage you guys to watch that movie. It is seriously a life changer. Okay. What it does is it goes through and it has you perform, I think it's, let me check to make sure. So it has 40 days of dares. Okay. So every day by the way, you're secretly doing this and your spouse doesn't know that you're doing this. I bought my book off of Amazon. I don't even remember how much it was, but it goes through and it has a challenge for each day. And I have noticed that by doing these simple dares to show my husband that I love him, he's actually been more supportive of what I'm doing, and he is more thoughtful and generous back, which is funny because he doesn't even know I'm doing it. So if you are having troubles with your marriage or your spouse supporting you, I highly recommend doing it. And if you guys want to do it with me, I would love for you guys to do it with me. I've done it once before, but I'm going to do it again. So if you guys are wanting to do it with me, I'd love it. So anyways, real quick, before we have 4 minutes left, does anybody have any questions about anything that I talked about?
I don't have any questions.
Thanks, Alyssa. Ashley, do you have any questions? Here.
Sorry, I was muted. I mean, not really. I guess my hardest part with my husband is the Shakeology. Honestly, that's I feel like he's pretty old on everything else. But he just thinks Shakeology is just an overpriced shake. But that's not really a question. That's just the part
It's just the part that you're struggling with. Well, maybe what you need to do then, so he's not worried about, because my husband was the same way. Even though he read through the ingredients, whatever. Another thing that I've been doing since, actually Ashley brought this up to me at Super Saturday, is she said that, I think it was Brigitte that told her, she heard something that she said, but somebody told her to look up the Shakeology ingredients one by one and study what each ingredient does. And I think by even doing that, that might help your husband understand everything that it is doing for you. But one of the things going back to that is my husband actually told me, he's like, I didn't believe in the Shakeology at first until that second month. This is really bad of me to even admit to you guys. That second month, I didn't drink Shakeology at all that month because I truly wanted to see if it made a difference. And that is when my husband noticed. He's like, oh, well, you need to get back on that. He's like, you're so crabby. He's like, you are always in a bad mood. Like, what's your deal? And I'm like, I haven't been drinking my Shakeology. And he's like, oh, well, that can't be the reason. So I continued that whole month not to even drink it. And as crappy as it was, it proved one of the points that I had. And it was that it really was helping me. And I think, too, I didn't even know it, but one of the ingredients in there actually helps fight depression. But anyways, we have less than a minute left. But if you guys do have questions or more questions, message me or post on our page. And I'd love to help you guys keep going. But those are the things that have helped my husband understand And I'm actually going to post some of the questions that I asked my husband and the answers that he gave me as soon as we're done with this call so that you guys can see. Because I did drill his brain last night, and I did ask him a bunch of questions, and he was sick of me, but he was willing to do it to help you guys. So if you guys don't have any more questions, then I guess I will talk to you guys later. But make sure, if you didn't listen to the beginning of the call, if you haven't sent me your shirt sizes and you're planning on coming to the team retreat, let me know so that I can make sure to have a shirt made for you so that I can have them for everyone that comes to the retreat. Okay? So does anybody have any questions? Anyone? No? Tiffany, do you have questions? Oh, what day am I going to do pictures? Tiffany, is that your question? So that kind of depends on when I can get Jen to come up to the retreat. So that's kind of going off on her. So, and Alyssa will be up there, so I'm sure that she'd be willing to take them whenever. Right, Alyssa? I'm hoping anyways. If not, then she can tell me. But so it's all, I guess, hanging on Jen. But I will try to message her again today and see if she's figured out a good day that would work for her, or if that weekend's even going to work for her. So is that the question that you had, Tiffany? Is that all you needed? Okay.